are UK cinemas doing enough to survive? Will they go down the route of HMVs? And also, are they helping indie filmmakers or just large studios and distributors?
I would say we hear a lot about windows, the windows debate, and the smartest thing I heard was saying, it's sort of one side versus the other right now. Exhibition wants to keep the window, distributors want to play with it. But if there's going to be any real change, it has to be a compromise on both sides. And the exhibitors have to play game a little bit. Distributors also have to realize that this is the exhibition business and can't change it overnight. And why would somebody give up theatrical rights and so forth? But I think something like Curzon On Demand is quite interesting. I don't think they're doing big numbers yet, but I think it's an interesting model, and it's nice to see people experimenting with that. Maybe a tangent, but I also think not every film needs a theatrical release, and I think that attitude shift may have to change a bit.
Then you don't get national press reviews.
Yes.
If you don't have a theatrical release. So then that's, there's still a stigma for films not to be released in cinema. So if you have a really good film, but you don't feel, I always think sometimes we should spend more money and just go straight to VOD or, straight to DVD or even, but it completely imbalances the whole chain, the economic chain, because your TV value is based on the box office, your, national
getting on the shelf.
You can't get a journalist to turn up if you a critic to turn up if you say we're going. So very often, even if we have very often we would just release a film on one print or a few prints just to make sure that we get reviewed properly.
I think there was one interesting model in the US with Bachelorette, that it was an offshoot of the Weinstein Company that released it, and they went VOD first, but it was on their own cinema. They were then going into their own cinema chains, and they got Kirsten Dunst on Letterman, partly because Harvey Weinstein is Harvey Weinstein. So, but that was an interesting model, and it worked in that one case, but I agree, it's the economics and the press don't work.
I think there's a bit of a concern that that digital has democratized film viewing and making to such a degree that you can just push specialized film to a VOD platform and that's fine, and then there's a home for it, because that's not really an answer, because we're all engaged in cinema. We're sitting here, it's a collective experience, we're sitting here now, people appreciate it in a certain way. And the reason the cinemas don't play the films is because no one's going to see them, so there's a sort of an audience problem as well, and that's probably a question of, the question is, why aren't the audiences going? Is it because the press aren't supporting the films, because it's too expensive to advertise? There's no kind of democracy in terms of advertising in the same way there is in France, for example, where there's a level playing field in terms of publicity. So there are lots of issues, and I don't think it's just the fact that the cinemas aren't playing them, although it disappoints me that some of the specialist chains have to survive on bigger films as well. That's a problem.
Yeah.